Huska, it's been 3 good days of practice. The guys are all going to go watch a game tonight. How excited do you think they are to finally get back out on the ice on Sunday?
Well, they don't like to practice. I think that's more of something that coaches like. They want to play the games, but I do think they recognize the importance of this time, one, to kind of retool or remember the important details of our structure and the habits that we expect our players to play with. So I do think they recognize the importance of that, but I think they'll be happy when this week is done.
What have been your biggest keys over these practices? What have you been trying to reinforce? Is it a little bit of everything? Of course, getting back the lungs and the pace, but what are the areas of kind of focus leading into this road trip and game Sunday?
Yeah, we've touched on pretty much everything so far, so we gave them a little refresher on our systems, but a lot of it for us is building the pace and execution towards Sunday. That's the most important thing for us, is to make sure that we feel that we're playing that game at a pace that if the league didn't shut down for this, whatever it was, 2 weeks' time, what it feels like, then we would have been exactly the same. So we want to make sure the pace and the execution is where it needs to be for Sunday.
Once again, we didn't see Tyson out there. Is there anything you can share, Ryan?
Nope, other than he's been placed on waivers.
You touched on it before, but what can a move to the wing do for Yegor in terms of opening things up for him offensively?
With that line?
Yeah.
Morgan, from what we've seen, he's a dynamic center. Like, there's a lot of things that happen when the puck is on his stick, and the first day in particular, I thought they were our best practice line on the ice here. They were moving the puck around really well. They seemed to have a lot of connection between them. And again, we're trying to find the right spot for Sharon, but a lot of that is seeing if he fits with a skilled centerman like Morgan. And hopefully there is some chemistry that comes to be in the game. Farabee and Morgan haven't played a ton together in Philly. They're really good friends, so I think that probably helps a little bit, but it's just a matter of making sure that they're playing the game the right way, and then letting their skill take over from there.
Sorry to go back on Tyson, but what was the reason for making that call?
We won't comment on it until we see what happens tomorrow.
Just due to the fact that you have a lot of history with him, he's been such a good soldier, and I know it's not the way anybody designed it, to not play in as many games as he would like, but just the idea of how he's handled his business, and the idea of, whatever happens, him with the Wranglers or whatever it is, having him ready and around your room.
Having him ready and around?
Having him ready as
I can't really comment on him right now, is what I kind of would say, because we have to see what shakes out here tomorrow, and then we'll be able to go from there.
Sure, yeah, and I wasn't trying to ask you about what comes next, but more of a standpoint of what he's been like for your group.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect and time for him, maybe because of our history. I think he's a real good individual, and he's a great teammate around the room. I've got a lot of things that I would say about him, but again, as I said, we have to see how this process shakes out tomorrow before we can really comment further.
You're expecting Raz back on the ice Saturday?
Yeah, hopefully. I know there was a lot of travel issues for those guys getting out of the East Coast here with all those winter storms, so we're expecting them in tonight, so we should have them around the room tomorrow, hopefully, and then, yes, most definitely practice on Saturday.
Maybe you've touched on this, so apologies if it's repetitive, but just the next 7 games, the crucial side of it for what you're trying to do message-wise, but also for where you are in the standings.
The only message we have is for Sunday night. We have a big game coming up after a long layoff. We've lost a few in a row at home here, and we want to make sure we're playing our best game of the year on Sunday night.